Earlier this week, Lego set numbers along with their price for Lego Star Wars was rumored this week, and now we actually know what these sets are going to be. Was some of our predictions right, or do we make some crucial mistakes? Let's go ahead and look at what is more or less what I believe will be the Lego Star Wars sets in 2021. Yo, what's up, Brick Duo fans? So let's just go ahead and get right into this. Set number 75307. This one's going to be Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar, just the usual $40. Nothing unusual here, and it'll be exciting to see what it looks like. I thought this year's Advent calendar was pretty darn good, so hope they continue to grow on that and get some cool exclusive figures. Next set we got is 75309. This will be the Mandalorian Throne and Vault. Now, we've seen a lot of Jedi Duel sets in the past. We didn't get any with this Winter Wave, but we'll finally be getting the Ahsoka Tano and Darth Maul duel from Season 7 in the throne room. I don't expect this to be a very big build, but I think being able to get the Ahsoka Tano minifigure and even a new Darth Maul minifigure possibly for $20 is always a good idea, and these sets just look really good on your shelf. And for someone like me who didn't really want to purchase the AAT that came out this year with Ahsoka Tano, I think being able to spend just $20 instead of the $40 to get this figure is an awesome ability, and I'm definitely looking forward to pick this one up. Next up, we have set 75311. This will be an Imperial Troop Transport. This will come with Grief Karga, 2 Stormtroopers, and a Mortar Trooper. The real interesting minifigure in this is the Mortar Trooper. I think this is going to draw a lot of people to this set. Personally, this one doesn't interest me too much, but I do understand that this set is a lot more interesting to me than some of the recent just regular original trilogy sets. Having something like this where we've seen it in The Mandalorian is something very interesting, and I definitely see this set being popular, probably with the younger age audience too, with several Stormtroopers coming in this set for $40. Next up, you have set number 75312. This one's actually giving me a Slave 1 for $50. This comes with Boba Fett and Han Solo. This one doesn't really interest me all that much. I think for $50 you can get a pretty small Slave 1, and for only 2 minifigures, this kind of brings me back to General Grievous, a Starfighter. I'm sorry, but if you're paying $50 or even General Grievous Starfighter $80 and you're only getting 2 minifigures, it just doesn't really add up for me. Although, bought a couple Slave 1s, the previous one's 20th anniversary to invest in. And the fact that this new Slave 1 that's coming out, that's only going to be $50, speaks really well to my investment. I still think the $120 one's going to be a way better set than this $50 one, and I expect the 20th anniversary one to continue to rise in price a little bit and hold at that $190, $180 price range probably, and even go up further down the line. Now, this next one, something that really interests me. This is set 75369. This will be Darth Vader's Chamber. This will be an 18-plus set, coming with Darth Vader, Admiral Piet, and Stormtrooper. I'm not sure if I said that right, guys. Killer. But I think this could look really cool. Darth Vader's Chamber, meditation chamber that you guys probably remember from, let's see, that's in episode 6, even 5, maybe even 4 too. In the original trilogy, I think they can make this look really cool. I heard there's going to be some Technic ability on top. Maybe where his helmet goes on or off. But I think this could look really good on display shelf, and I think this set will probably retail for around anywhere from $40 to $60. Just thinking of Bespin duel sort of type of set, I think this will look really great. This is one I'm looking to pick up. Next, we have set 75316. This will be a Mandalorian fighter, possibly a Walmart exclusive. It's looking like this can come with Bo-Katan, Gar Saxon, and a blue Mandalorian. This is one of those sets where the actual ship doesn't interest me too much, but I think for $60 coming with those 3 minifigures, 2 of them being really interesting in Bo-Katan and Gar Saxon, I could see this set being really popular. And who knows if I watch The Mandalorian, or if I watch The Mandalorian again, or maybe the Clone Wars like I did last summer and get really hooked, I could see myself possibly picking this one up. But I think this is really cool because that old Mandalorian fighter just goes for a lot nowadays, and I think it's definitely time for a remake with the popularity of The Mandalorian and how popular Season 7 was of the Clone Wars. Okay, next we have 75314. This is going to be a Bad Batch shuttle for $100. Comes with Tech, Wrecker, Hunter, Crosshair, and Echo. Really, really, really happy that this set's finally coming out. I wasn't a huge fan of the Bad Batch in Season 7, those first 3 episodes, but I always thought their armor looked really cool. And I think it's a great idea that they all just come in one set, $100 if you want it. The shuttle's probably going to look really good for $100 too. Really nothing you can go wrong for this set. I think this would be a great Christmas set for anyone that's interested in this one. Next up, we have 75315. This is going to be Moff Gideon's Light Cruiser for $160. The minifigures coming in the set would be Din, Grogu, Cara Dune, Fennec, Moff Gideon, and a Dark Trooper possibly. That last minifigure isn't confirmed, but I think this is going to be a great $160 set. I think LEGO's done a really good job of creating that $160 Imperial Star Destroyer sets. And I think a Moff Gideon's Light Cruiser will do just great in that same sense. It should have maybe a decent interior or somewhere to place your minifigures, at least in the interior, but still look really good on the outside too. And this is just nice to have a little refresh, in my opinion, for on that $160 price range. I feel like we've gotten the AT-AT, some Imperial Star Destroyers in the past, just sets that we've seen over and over again. And I think this is nice just to have a nice refresh, from the Mandalorian, and a ship that I think everyone really likes too. And I think finally getting a Moff Gideon figure too. There's certainly some interesting figures possibly in this set. And hey, this might be the only set that comes out with the Dark Trooper too, so definitely keep your eyes on this set, guys. This one is going to be a really good set in my opinion. There'll also be a set number 75319. We don't know what this set is yet. It's supposed to be $30. Honestly, I'm just going to have to take a wild guess here, but I feel like it might be some sort of $30 battle pack or whatever you want to call the 501st that came out this year. Something along those lines is kind of what I see coming out. It might be interesting. I bought the 501st pack personally, but we'll just have to see. I think LEGO can make something interesting, especially if it has to do something with possibly maybe the prequel trilogy or something like that for a change. Next up, this set I'm really excited for, guys. As you know, I'm a big UCS fan, and the May the 4th set 75308 is going to be UCS R2D2 for $200. And our old R2D2 set is one that I've always wanted. I regret never picking it up when it came out. I expect this one to be a similar size and look very similar to the previous one. In my opinion, there's really nothing wrong with the old one. I still really want it in my collection. I'm just happy that I'm not going to have to pay over $300 for a new one of that. And instead, I can just buy this one for $200. I just think it's going to look really good on my shelf next to Yoda and several of the other droids that I've gotten in the UCS skill. Now, there'll also be a May the 4th promo. This is going to be a Tatooine homestead. I think this is going to be very similar to the Death Star 2 run, and then also the Endor and Hoth battles that we've also gotten in that same sort of style. I have the Death Star run and also the Endor, so this promo isn't that good. If they came with one minifigure that was exclusive with the build, I think it'd be absolutely amazing. If the fact that it doesn't come with a minifigure kind of really hurts, in my opinion. But I think that building these small little mini display pieces next to each other, I think eventually it'll look kind of cool when you have a bunch together. I just wish they had one minifigure with them. But I'm really, really excited for this set. This is obviously going to be a pickup for me for the fact that it's a UCS set and it's R2D2, one of the most lovable characters in Star Wars. So, the next UCS set, 75309 for $350. I know I was saying previously I really thought this was going to have to be a Master Builder series. Now, people are saying this is going to be UCS Republic Gunship. Now, I don't know anyone that's ever seen it, where some of these sets, I know people have seen pictures of it. No one's seen pictures of the UCS Republic Gunship. Therefore, I can definitely see that it could be a UCS Republic Gunship, but because it's $350, I'm still not throwing away the fact that maybe, you never know, it could be just a Master Builder series. I remember this year, everyone thought a new Imperial shuttle was going to come out just randomly, and then 2 weeks later, we found out actually it was going to be Mos Eisley Cantina, and it just makes more sense. But anyway, we can just assume that this will probably be a UCS Republic Gunship for $350. This one I think is going to look absolutely amazing if they actually go for a $350 price. I think a $200 price range just isn't quite big enough for this ship, although I definitely see LEGO possibly still doing a $200 one, saying that we've gotten Y-Wing and A-Wings both at that scale, as well as many other starships, and it kind of just makes sense that they would just continue at the $200 price range. But this set is really exciting to me. I'm excited to see what the scale is going to be, and I'm also excited to see just what they're going to do with the minifigures too, because it's a UCS set, but I think people expect there to be minifigures too, so certainly will be interesting from LEGO point of view as far as what they want to do with that. So next up, set 75313 for $800. Now, we were reporting earlier this was going to be a Death Star. Now people are starting to think it's going to be an AT-AT. Now, I have a couple thoughts on this. I've heard from several people, or I've seen several people post about the set having, I believe it was 6,900 something pieces instead of that original 11,000 we saw, which does make sense to me. I think 11,000 was just a random guess, and usually the piece counts are never that accurate when people don't give exact numbers. So the fact that it's 6,900 something pieces for $800 makes me think it's actually more of an AT-AT instead of a Death Star. Now hear me out. Usually Lego doesn't price their pieces based on how many, or price their sets based on how many pieces. Instead, it's the weight. Now, I'd expect an AT-AT to have much larger pieces than a Death Star, and therefore I'd expect it to probably have around 7,000 pieces. Just like we've seen with the Imperial Star Destroyer, it has much less pieces than the Millennium Falcon, although weighs about the same, right? But it costs the same amount of money, or just $100 less, I should say. So, I think for a Death Star, in my opinion, the pieces are going to have to be pretty small, and I see a Death Star set for $800 going to have more than 8,000 pieces, just in my opinion. With all that greebling and stuff on the Death Star, it just doesn't quite add up to me. So I think the fact that the set's under 7,000 pieces and still is going to cost $800, I see an AT-AT have much larger pieces. So I think it's very possible that we're going to see an AT-AT. This is kind of disappointing to me just because I've really wanted Death Star. I've wanted that Death Star 2 for so long, the old UCS set, and I was really excited that we might possibly see a new one, and maybe we still will. And I think an AT-AT could be really interesting for $800. We've just never seen Lego do something, a vehicle at that scale, like an AT-AT, where I'm just not sure how they're going to be able to construct it to make it feasible to stand correctly. But I'm really impressed if they're able to make an $800 set for 7,000 pieces. That just makes it look like a great AT-AT. I think it'd just be an absolutely amazing display piece. But like I said, I am a little bit disappointed at the moment that I'm starting to think that it might not be a Death Star. What's interesting though is that I know that I was saying that the Death Star playsets both retired, so it makes sense. They're going to create a new Death Star, and there's already an AT-AT out, so it's kind of surprising they're going to be making another AT-AT if they decide to go with that. But also, if you look back, Lego constantly has had Millennium Falcons. Didn't stop them from releasing an $800 one. You know, Lego's had Imperial shuttles or new Imperial shuttles, right? That came out, and they still released the $700 one. I think for these very expensive Lego UCS sets we've seen so far, both the Millennium Falcon and Imperial Star Destroyer, I think Lego kind of looks at them in a whole different ballpark and kind of realizes that people buying the $160 ones aren't the same people buying the $800 ones. It just doesn't make sense. They're just totally different beasts. One is a play set, one is a collector's piece that's extremely expensive, and most likely adult fans of Lego are going to be the ones purchasing the very expensive ones. But I'm still really excited to see what Lego's going to do with that $800 set. It should be very interesting. Let me know what you guys think that we're going to see with that $800 set. I think I switched my mind, and I actually think it's going to be the AT-AT. But like I said, I'm still holding on hope that it might be the Death Star. Anyway, this is Brick2Us signing out. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys.